Arnold.
What is beauty? Who defines what beauty is? And why have we accepted those terms? Who gets to do that? And most importantly, why do we accept it more when someone says we're not beautiful than when someone says we are? I was born and raised in Brooklyn. I had two wonderful, awesome brothers. My dad worked 7 days a week as a bartender to support his family. My mom was a housewife. My mom, unfortunately, suffered from grave mental illness, undiagnosed. And that mental illness manifested itself in some very dark, ugly ways. She had very specific ways, targeted ways, of physically, emotionally, and mentally abusing myself and my brothers. My brothers are not here tonight, so I need to keep this focus on me. For me, my mother had a special targeted abuse for my face. She would often physically beat me so badly that I would go to school with welts and contusions and bruises all over my face. She was trying to disfigure me. I would get to school, and the kids would start laughing at me and making fun of me. They would start saying, "Why don't you just duck when your mother swings?" Arnold got his ass kicked again. The teachers and the faculty would take a different approach. They would often say to me, "What did you do now? Why can't you just behave?" And my personal favorite, "You know, Arnold, your mother only hits you because she loves you." I've done a lot of work on this accumulated trauma with counselors and therapists and programs of recovery. And I realized that my mother was just basically dealing with reality the best way she knew how. It wasn't her fault. She was sick. And I forgive her. But the accumulated trauma of years and years of this abuse took its toll. And it took its toll in two very specific ways. The first was a disorder called body dysmorphia. Dealing with a lifelong, debilitating battle with body dysmorphia. And the second way was a lifelong, devastating battle with sexual addiction. For those of you who don't know what body dysmorphia is, it runs along the spectrum of obsessive-compulsive disorder. It is a hyperfixation on a perceived flaw in the body. For some people, it's acne. For others, it's weight. For still others, it's the texture of their hair. But it is not an issue of vanity. The statistics with people who have this disorder of committing suicide are actually staggeringly high. And sexual addiction, I don't think needs much of an explanation. It means many different things to many different people. But for me, It meant a constant, unrelenting, desperate need for validation, approval, and worth. Partner after partner after partner, to please convince me that I was not the hideous creature that I believed that I was. I'm going to fast forward to 2014, the year of my mother's death. My dating life is a shambles because I just don't believe that anyone would actually want to spend time with me. I was living in the Bronx at the time, and someone who lived not too far from me would be a man that would change my life. His name is Wayne, and he's this tall, larger-than-life, hulking man, beautiful personality, wonderful generosity of spirit, kind, loving, sweet man. And Wayne was not the type of person who suffered fools well. Wayne did an awful lot of volunteering at animal shelters. And when you asked him why, he would tell you it's because I trust dogs a lot more than I trust humans. He was never afraid to say what he felt. And I fell madly in love with this man. I had the hugest crush on him. But because of my issues, I didn't believe that anyone would want to spend that kind of time with me. One day, walking in the Bronx near Fordham Road, it was the summer of 2014, just a few months before my mom's death, I remember I couldn't take it anymore. I just couldn't. I waited till we got to a private little corner, and I just jumped over all of my fears, and I said, Wayne, will you kiss me? And to my utter amazement, this gentle giant of a loving soul got into this defensive posture and admitted to me that he could not believe that I would ask him for a kiss. Here I was believing that he was out of my league, and he was believing that I was out of his. Wayne and I started dating, and we dated each other for about a year. He helped to see me through my mother's death. We were in love. I remember one night when Wayne and I were lying in bed. He was asleep. I looked over to him, and in a moment of just complete and utter gratitude, I thought to myself, if this gentle, beautiful, loving soul could find me appealing and desirable and attractive, maybe I'm not the hideous beast that I think I am. Now, I'm not the type of person that believes that we should look externally for validation, but I do believe that every now and again in our lives, God sends us angels, messengers, guides. And those messengers are specifically mandated to give us the message that we need to hear at the time that we need to hear it. Wayne was one of those angels. And there's a lot of those angels sitting in this audience tonight as well. I love you all. Wayne and I have since split up. I moved down here to Miami. He remained up in New York. But I cherish his memory and the memories we had together. We're still very close. I love him very much. So in closing, I'd like to share something with you. That's my mom. That is not the visage of an ugly woman. Mom, You were beautiful. Absolutely perfect. You were stunning. And I don't know what messages you received that made you believe that you were ugly. But they were lies. And I know that you know that now. Now that all the years, the lifetime of disease and darkness and anguish has lifted from your soul. I know that you know that you are beautiful, because I finally know that I am beautiful. If there's anything I'd like you to take with you tonight, it's that you were beautiful as well. And anybody who tells you anything different is lying. Thanks.
I don't usually run, wait, stay here, Arnold. I don't usually run out and say, look at that, a standing ovation for Arnold. How beautiful is that? Soak that in. He is beautiful, isn't he?